Everybody knows everybody. They're stopping, they're talking to you, they're interested in who you are and what your aspirations are, and they want to get you engaged in a club or coming out to see a game or a music performance. So it's a really friendly atmosphere. So when those students are walking across the stage at graduation, more often than not, yes, I do know that young person, and I know what they're going on to next, either in graduate school or a business opportunity or further study.
Why is it so important to having a faculty and staff that is into what your plans are in making this institution a success?
Well, it's a tremendously creative group of people. And I often say that my job is mostly to get out of their way or to remove whatever obstacles are in their way for implementing or enhancing a successful program. They care so deeply about the students. They're active scholars, but their primary focus is on teaching and on mentoring these students. I often tell the students that if they're not in class at 9 o'clock, but their professor sees them in the cafeteria at noon, they're probably going to come up to them and say, "Paul, is everything okay?" And they're not being truant officers. They want to know, are you sick? Are you feeling a little overwhelmed? They really care so deeply about the success of their students.
President Lewis, you're a husband and a father. How does your family support help you in your everyday walk through life?
Oh, they are magical in their support. They so fully understand my passion for this work. They enjoy what the college has to offer. I mean, it's wonderful. My children are both teenagers. Wonderful for them to be able to interact with these bright young people, these fascinating faculty, and when we bring outside experts in to do presentations on campus. I mean, how often does a teenager get to sit down at lunch with an ambassador or a governor or a noted author and be able to interact with them? So I think they're enjoying everything that the opportunity has to offer as well.
President Lewis, I applaud you for the work that you do, not only for the community, but for building our future leaders. And I just want to know, do you get emotionally attached to some of the kids?
Oh yes, absolutely. And the more time I spend at Catawba and get to know more of the students, the more emotional each graduation is becoming. It's so fun to see these young people flourish, to see a music performer who maybe starts out without all the confidence in the world, but by their final show, that they have what it takes to go out there and be a headline artist. And it's going to be really sad to see some of them go, but you know that it's time and they're ready, and that they've got wonderful choices in front of them. There was one young man, for example, who graduated last year. He was a biology major. He ran cross country on our cross country team. He was on the student government executive. Just a delightful young man. And he went out to Stanford University in California between his junior and senior years to do research on biomedical issues. And they were so impressed with the work that he had done that they flew him back out there that fall to do a presentation on his research. And they offered him a very generous, very significant scholarship to go straight into a PhD program. And when he came back from the trip and told me about that, I was so excited for him. I said, "I'm going to come visit you in California." And he said, "Actually, I'm going to turn that opportunity down." And I was shocked. I said, "Now what part am I missing here? This is Stanford, PhD, large scholarship." He said, "My dream has really been medical school rather than the PhD route. And that's what I've decided to pursue." And he is right now in medical school, and so proud of him, but also so proud of Catawba that we were able to prepare that young man to have those kind of options and those kind of opportunities in front of him. And that's not something that you usually see at an institution of our size and type. So very proud of what that represents for us.
And I probably know that you probably have numerous other stories of other students that went through the same type of situation. Why is it so important that you follow your dream and not?
Well, it's interesting. And it's interesting you use the word dream. We had an alumnus come back this year who was studying dance and theater when he was a student at Catawba several years ago. He graduated, went on to perform with the Joffrey Ballet in New York City, but his aspiration was to found his own dance company, and he has done that now in Pensacola, Florida. And he brought his dance company to campus for a week, and they did a wonderful series of opportunities with our students, and at the end of the week, they did a performance where the professional dancers were dancing pieces that were choreographed by our students, and our students were performing the pieces that were choreographed by the professionals. But when he came out to introduce the program at the beginning, he said, when I came to Catawba, I already knew what my dreams were. I wanted to have this dance company. He said, Catawba showed me what to do with my dreams. And I think it is wonderful to be able to provide that underpinning of practical knowledge, of the kinds of skills that employers are looking for today. They say they want communication skills. They say they want people who can synthesize and analyze information from a variety of sources and disciplines and work as a team together. Correct. And I think we really provide that because, you might know what you want as your first job or your first career, but we need to help prepare you for the job or the career that you retire from 40 years from now and that might not even exist today. So if we can provide not just that first set of career skills, but the skills that will allow you to adapt and enhance your skills over time, then I think we've really served our students well.
Providing a safe environment for your students, why is that so important to you as the president of Catawba College?
Well, I think it's vital. Any community that you want to be a part of, you want to feel safe and secure. You want to be able to focus on your family, your studies, and not be looking over your shoulder uncomfortably. I live right on the campus, so I share that same sense of anxiety anytime you hear a siren, and most often, thankfully, it's a false alarm. Burnt popcorn in the microwave set off the fire alarm or something like that. But we take great care and are very focused on making sure that we've got the safest environment for our students. They expect that, their parents expect it. They wouldn't come and they wouldn't stay if they didn't feel safe. And so we're fortunate to have a really terrific team of professionals on campus who look after the details of that and who work very collaboratively with local law enforcement and emergency responders. For example, we had a full-scale exercise about a year ago of an active shooter situation. And so we had all the local law enforcement and emergency responders, and we learned a lot, and they learned a lot from that in terms of how we need to communicate in such a situation. God forbid it ever happens, but we want to be as prepared and as ready as possible to deal with whatever may come our way.
When myself, like a parent, brings my child to your college and drop them off, you become their father. You become their parent. How does that make you feel, knowing that these parents put their trust into your hands?
Well, it's an awesome responsibility, and we take it seriously. But we also have to recognize that in almost every instance, that young man or young woman is an adult in every legal sense, that a lot of the responsibility for the choices that they make have to rest with them. that we are there to guide, to counsel, to offer help when they make the wrong choice, and to try and, to the extent possible, make it a learning moment for them, and not be about punishment first, but learning from the situation. And I think a lot of parents today, and I understand it. As I said, I'm a parent of two teenagers. There's that sense of wanting to put your arms around them and protect them from some of those things. But we've got to find that right balance, both in terms of the legal requirements that are upon us. In a lot of situations, we're not even allowed to tell a parent about a circumstance unless the student has given us permission to do so, and that's just federal law because, like I said, they are adults. But we take the orientation to campus very seriously. We want to introduce them to the dangers and the pitfalls of being involved with drugs or alcohol or careless sexual activity. But we all know that young people are going to make mistakes and bad choices, and we're there to help them get through that as best we can.
For the students that's looking for a college to attend, how would they get more information about Catawba College?
There's all kinds of ways. Great first step is our website, www.catawba.edu. More information there than you can probably drink in at a time. We also really encourage people to come to campus for a visit. I think it's so important to get that sense of place and to talk to the people and to get a sense of what it would be like as a student there on a daily basis, to sit in on a class, to even stay overnight in one of the residence halls as a guest with one of our students. So I think really that firsthand exposure is the most important.
President Lewis, we're running out of time. I really appreciate you coming on the show, and anytime you want to come back on Paul Brown's show to talk about Catawba College and some of the upcoming event, you're more than welcome to come back.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the show. You be encouraged.